Hi there, Flow Live group. How are you? Oh, it says I can tag some friends here. That's fun. So let's see. Who can I tag? I'll tag Jill, Christine, Petra. Got a lot of friends I could tag here. Oh, this is wonderful. So now you can tag people with your Facebook Lives. Okay, great. Now, how do I get back? Sorry about that. So I don't know how to go back to my. Hold on a second here. So, there we go. Hi. All right, so I just tagged some friends. Hopefully that worked. My name's Sura. I'm a meditation coach and trainer, in case you don't know me already. Hey, Michael, how are you? So I'm here in one of the bedrooms because I want to demonstrate how social isolation is a spiritual practice. So we can forget that this is a practice that can help us to develop ourselves and to develop our practice. So it's a wonderful opportunity, actually, to practice social isolation. How many times do we get to do this and actually make the time for it? Now we're being forced to isolate. So I'm going to share with you how to release tension and find joy in isolation, and give you some tips on how to actually do it. And then also share with you the 5 stages you go through as you practice solitude, as you go into isolation. So I want to start with a little story, which is the story of when I decided to, many of you know my personal story about how I used to work on Wall Street. I left corporate to travel to India to learn yoga and meditation in communities. And for a long while, I did live in communities. And I decided one day that I was going to learn meditation on my own. And I was going to learn through solitude and nature. And that's when I went to Salt Spring Island, and I ended up renting a cottage on a beautiful lake and living without Wi-Fi, phone, connection to the outer world. And I was mostly always in solitude, focusing on my practice. I was really determined to go deeper in meditation. I felt like I was missing something. I didn't really understand meditation all the way, even after several years of study. And it was really hard. It's like I had to carry my water across a horse field, and I didn't have heat. I had a wood stove, so I had to provide my firewood. And it was hard. It was not always bliss. And I want to share with you the stages that you go through as you spend more and more time on your own. And I want to say that there is an incredible gift and treasure from not engaging with other people, that it's an experience, it's a lifetime experience to have, to know yourself in the absence of others. Because when we're always engaged with other people, we tend to be in our same patterns and our same personality and our same habits, and we don't even know it because we're just going with the usual automatic mode. And as soon as you start to distance yourself, as soon as you start to be in solitude, you can see how much the ego starts to come up and resist that process. So first, that's the first stage when you start to isolate, is that there is angst, restlessness, resistance. That's the first thing you come up against. It's really, there is an energy behind it. You can even feel it. It's almost like a tension that's there. And right now people are experiencing tension because they feel uncomfortable. They're really uncomfortable with the situation because they're being made to self-isolate, and they are taken out of the context of their regular life. And now we have all these other challenges like loss of income, uncertainty. We don't know what's really going to happen. So that adds to the stress and tension that's here. And oftentimes what we tend to do with that is we distract ourselves. So we go more into Facebook, more into the news, more, we go into that consuming mode. We just want something to latch onto, to hold our attention. And I would say for the most part, we're programmed to not be present. No, when we're growing up, people don't show us just how to breathe and let go and be present with what is. On the contrary, we're taught to fill up our space, fill up our schedule, fill up our attention, consume, produce, do. And so we're really out of balance and out of whack. And that's why we have so much agitation underneath. That's why there's a lot of addiction, pain, suffering, depression, anxiety, is that we don't know how to really manage our attention. So, but that is the first step you'll go through, is this really intense angst. and it's something you just have to sit through. It's kind of like sitting on a bed of ants or a little fire, where it's deeply uncomfortable. But once you get through that stage of discomfort, that begins to fall away, and you go to the next stage. It's kind of an emptying process where you just start to empty more and more, of that agitation energy, of the tension. The second stage is boredom. So then you go to a stage where it's just like, okay, you feel bored. You don't know what to do with yourself. And that's a second stage, is that you do pass through this feeling of being bored. But that is one of the, if you think about it, it's kind of like a gateway to get to the real rich, sweet, juicy part of solitude. So you pass through boredom and you allow yourself to be bored. You allow yourself to hum and haw through it. And then you get to a third stage, which is settling. So now you start to settle and your energy begins to drop in and deepen. So you pass through the boredom and things become more crisp, more clear, more rich. And there's a settling that happens, a centering and a dropping in, a feeling of embodiment. So that's the third stage. The fourth stage I would describe as connection through surrender. Connection through surrender. When you're really able to start releasing all of those little tensions and thoughts and agitations, they keep coming up over and over and over again. They just start to slow down. And you start to know that feeling of agitation starts to slow down. And with that, there is a letting go and a release. But it really takes being present through the other stages to get to this stage. And it's a feeling of being surrendered, of not pushing against the present moment, of not needing something to happen, of not trying to get your attention filled up with a whole bunch of stuff or latch onto something. You're just really starting to surrender and soften more and more. And it's a really sweet spot after feeling more settled in your body, more connected and grounded, going through the stage of surrender. And surrender is a fierce process. It's not just an easy, it takes energy to get to that place. And then the fifth stage is expansion. There's something that opens up in you, like really opens up. It's a feeling of space, inner space. It's like all of a sudden you can see things in a whole new way. You can have a larger awareness, and the spaciousness that you feel is so incredibly liberating. You feel expanded, and you feel like you have the energy to do anything that you want, that you have the power to do anything you want because you've dropped into a deeper center of peace. And that expansion is incredible. It really comes through that combination of rest, awareness, relaxation, and rejuvenation. The opportunities to self-isolate is an opportunity to truly rejuvenate your life force energy. So the reason why I'm streaming through one of my bedrooms is because this is a great place to do it. Some of you have roommates or you live with other people, you have family members. So if you want to practice this and you can release yourself from responsibility, I recommend locking yourself up in your room without any distractions. So without the internet, without TV, without books, without writing stuff, just lay on your bed. I mean, that's really the first thing. So this is a real hands-on practice. You're gonna lay on your bed and lounge. I know that that might sound odd, but I teach teachers and executives how to meditate. One of the, I would say, distinct characteristics that we do teach is the importance of relaxation. So just learning how to relax and let go is the most important aspect to learn first before meditation, because a lot of people bring their agitation and their tensions into meditation. It's really hard. So just lying down on your bed, I love to do things like kind of hang my head off the side of the bed or stretch my neck, but just lounging and being on your bed, and you'll start passing through those stages that I mentioned, the restlessness, the boredom, you'll feel the agitation, but it'll start to drop away. And the key is to stay in your bed without falling asleep. So you're just relaxing as much as you can, letting all the energy go down as much as you can, and there's no rush. You don't have to get somewhere, there's no pressure to meditate. You're just lying on your bed, being on your bed, and that's it. That's it. And you can say in the beginning, I'm going to try for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever that is for you. Don't bring your phone into the bedroom. And then what you'll do is you can use a few of your pillows. Like, I don't even own a meditation cushion. I used to have so many cushions, so many yoga mats and props. Now I just use what's right in front of me when I meditate, whatever I can grab. You just take one of your bedroom pillows, and I love to take these pillows and just stack them and sit on top of the pillows. And that's all you need to do, is just stack those pillows so that you have a straight spine. And this is what you do after you feel like all of the energy has grounded and settled. And then you allow yourself to have that meditation time, just quietly sitting and breathing. Now, there are a lot of different types of meditation techniques. I recommend contemplation during isolation or during solitude. Contemplation is the practice of just being quiet and having an awareness of something. So, for example, you can contemplate on what's important, what's really important. It's just one thing that you begin to contemplate. You don't even have to contemplate on something. You can just be in a thoughtful space where you're not engaged in your normal everyday thinking thoughts, but just where you're just being quiet and thinking on a different, deeper level, more with your body and with your energy. And there's something that begins to happen in that process, something that begins to unfold and emerge. It's like magic. Magic happens when you do nothing. Believe it or not, you don't have to hustle all the time. Just resting and raising your vibration by simply resting and letting go. How powerful that is. That's what you begin to tap into through self-isolation. So that's a little bit about that process. Anyone have any questions or comments? Who's here? It's nice to see you guys. Let me see if I want to say anything else about that. So that's like really easy steps, yeah? Go to your bedroom, lock the door, release all the distractions, lay on your bed for however long you need until you feel settled, and then sit on some cushions so that you're comfortable and you're sitting up straight, and just allow yourself to reflect and contemplate for a while. I recommend starting with 30 minutes of this practice and then working your way up to an hour and then a couple hours. You're going to feel amazing after a couple hours, even more amazing after a whole day of this. Yes, imagine spending the whole day on your bed doing nothing. and I promise you will feel like a changed and transformed person the next day. There is something so transformative about solitude and rest and doing absolutely nothing. So I just want to share some of that. Those are my best practices. I would say my secret practices to keeping my energy fresh, to rejuvenating my spiritual practice and rejuvenating myself, staying always really highly motivated in a good place. These are the practices that I engage in, which is, and I'm going to repeat because we have some more people here. Self-isolation is a spiritual practice. You can take self-isolation, transform it into your spiritual practice. Start by releasing all distractions, coming into a room, probably a bedroom, and then lying on your bed, resting until you feel completely rested, moving through the first several stages that include restlessness, angst, and boredom, moving past that, and then finally sitting on your cushion and practicing contemplation and just being. And like I said, 30 minutes, a couple hours, then try the whole day. You're going to feel like a new person the next day. It's like a spiritual cleanse. Don't just take my word for it. Try it yourself. Try it yourself as a social, personal experiment and let me know how it goes. The 5 steps of transformation. Yuri, you know what? I'll go through it really quick, but be sure to watch the recording. The 5 steps are, the first step is restlessness, which is angst. The second step is boredom. The third step is settling. Start to settle. The fourth step is connection through surrender. Connection through surrender. And then the fifth step is expansion. Finding this inner spaciousness that feels so liberating, so freeing, so energizing, so rejuvenating. But you have to go through these steps that are actually really uncomfortable and sometimes painful, and they bring up a lot of stuff and suffering and tension and anxiety, but you move through it. Those are the steps that you go through as you engage in isolation or solitude as part of your spiritual practice. No matter what, you can't avoid those bad, uncomfortable feelings, but once you get to the other side, it ends up being a really invigorating and enlightening experience. So I go into that in detail earlier on in the video. Oh, you're welcome, Michael. It's so nice to see you guys here. Hi, Danusa. I just waved at you. Any questions or comments? How are you guys doing at home? What's coming up for you? I'm just curious. For myself as a meditator and a teacher, we've been really busy through our business. I can tell you that I have felt, discombobulated through the whole COVID-19 because here in Hawaii, things change hour by hour. First it's non-essential travel, then there's a storm where we're not allowed to travel anywhere, then we might not have power, then, and it's just changing hour by hour. It's really affected our community. And I'm also noticing that there's a more increased hate and tension as a result of the division that's been created in our community, because we rely a lot on tourism, and right now our whole economy is shut down here. And because of that and the lack of money and the lack of certainty, people are attacking each other online. I see it now. I mean, they're just judging, if somebody's traveling or if somebody's opened up their vacation rental, and it's just increased tensions and stress. So I think it's a really important time right now to be sharing and spreading the good vibes, to be addressing some of this negativity and hate that's coming up for people, the fear that's coming up for people of getting sick. Hey there, Tina, and I'll wave at you. So, how is it where you are? Tell me a little bit about what's happening with you. If you feel comfortable, it's just nice to be able to talk to you guys online. I want you to know that I'm thinking of all of you. A lot of the people that are here on the stream are all teachers, I'm noticing. And I encourage teachers to be out there on the front lines. I mean, this is your time. You're the first responders here. So I hope you're, making a presence. People need people like you, creating that sense of peace and center and good energy. So no matter what, if there's a couple people or a lot of people, start streaming online and sharing your thoughts without attachment or condition. I want to tell you that right now what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to share how to expand your work online. And I'll be doing that through my Facebook page. Because right now, and not even right now, before right now, like, this has been happening since last year. Everybody and their mother asks me how to have an online business, and I have to repeat myself over and over and over again. So now that a lot of people are actually going online, I am going to provide something more structured. So I'm going to have some talks this week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, at, what is it? It'll be 4 p.m. EST, so 1 p.m. PST, where I'm going to share how to expand your work online. And then next month, we're going to have something more formal, and it's a paid webinar series where you can learn how to really go online and share your work online. And I just want to say, when I first started my business, wow, I got pushback and doubt and skepticism about the work I was doing. People were like, oh, you teach online? Like I wasn't a real teacher. And I've been teaching in person for years before that point. And when I discovered online teaching and sharing, it was a whole new world for me, a whole new world. Hi, Tina. Yes, Tina says people are stressed, more love, and yep, division and judgment. Let's spread some love. Yes, let's do it. So when I started my online business, it opened up a whole new world because I struggled being a teacher. When I started as a yoga teacher, as a meditation coach, back then I didn't call myself a meditation coach. I was an executive coach. I was renting office space at a psychotherapy place in Santa Monica. It was really, for me, it was stressful. Because I lived in LA, I would drive maybe 3 miles to get to the yoga studio where I needed to teach. It would take me 45 minutes to an hour to get there because of traffic. By the time I got there, it would be crowded full of people. And then after I taught class, all the people would want to connect and talk afterwards. And it totally drained and burned out my energy. And then I would have to go meet with individual clients, and being with them in person, there was just so much more commute time. There was more drag, or I would just say distraction on my energy. I wasn't able to just focus and do exactly what I wanted to do with people and work with them in a conducive way. It was constantly intermingled with commutes, longer conversations, people just wanting to be in your energy. I thought it was pretty challenging for me. I didn't feel that was a sustainable way for me to live. And that was actually the time I decided to go into solitude and retreat. And it was after then, even though I'd been teaching by teleconferencing, that I decided to go online. And for me, being online, wow, it was like, this was a platform that completely fit my energy. I mean, this was a platform where there was no commute. All I had to do was turn on my computer, open a video app, complete the session in an hour, clean hour, where there was amazing work that unfolded because they weren't relying just on me so much and my presence. They were really doing the work for themselves too. And then when that's done, you close your computer, boom, you're done. That's an hour of your time, not 3 hours of your time. That's not the commute plus setup plus rental plus, all that other stuff. It's one clean hour of your time. And then on top of that, being online, you can scale your time and energy. So that means you don't have to be only making money based on the hour that you work. And I'm going to share more about that as well. Tim Ferriss came out recently. I'm just like blabbing now. Tim Ferriss came out recently saying that, you don't have to be famous and it's better not to be famous. All you need is 2,000 good followers to have a very successful business. And he actually recommends this model over being well known because he receives death threats every other week. And he said it's really hard to be a famous person because he has zero privacy and he gets a lot of inappropriate mail and communication that creates a huge stress and pull on his life. So he released this blog about a month ago, and I couldn't agree more. I don't have a big following. We don't need to be huge. We just have the right relationships with the right people. It creates the right amount of flow, and we've been growing it steadily since we started. So having an online presence is amazing. It could be something that is for you if you want to learn about it. Join us Tuesday and Thursday, but on my Facebook page. That'll be at 4 p.m. EST, 1 p.m. PST. So it was really lovely talking to you from a new location and sending you lots of love. I hope you learned something about self-isolation and retreat and how much it can really benefit you in your spiritual practice and your health and also your energy. If you enjoyed this, please like and share, and I'll see you guys soon. You can also comment and let me know what you'd like me to talk about or stream about. If you're somebody who is stressed out about the COVID-19 pandemic, I'm also offering free meditation coaching where I'll be streaming it online through Zoom. So if you want free meditation coaching, also let us know. We have a small application for that. And I will talk to you all soon. Stay safe, be mindful, and use this time wisely. This is a precious time. Use it wisely. Lots of love. Bye, everybody.